Extraterrestrials and spirit beings want access to our consciousness. Not a planet and not a body. They're not interested in bodies or planets because they are abundant in the universe. What these beings are interested in is our consciousness. Our consciousness is highly prized. It is unique in the universe. And many beings throughout the universe want to create a link, a bond, a communication system with our consciousness. This is what they are interested in. When they come and they're already here, the reason they don't take over the world, they don't want to, there are beings who do want to possess, yes, at lower levels, but I'm speaking of generally higher consciousness beings. They want to come and participate with us in the co-creation of our reality. And they don't have bodies, a lot of them, because they are pure consciousness, but some of them do have bodies in other higher frequencies. And so this discussion is about understanding the value of your consciousness. Your soul container gave you a piece of its consciousness. And as an avatar, it is your responsibility to guard and protect your consciousness and to manage it correctly so that it grows and expands, and therefore grows and expands the soul and grows and expands the universe. We don't take care of our consciousness. We don't understand how valuable it is. And so we need to understand that because most of us do not even take care of our consciousness, this is why we get entangled in our family lineage and all those dead relatives. We get entangled in the conflicts of the world and polarities. And of course, I've said this many times, when we die, we pass over into the astral purgatory worlds. These dead people, and I'm just calling them dead people so we can differentiate, these dead people that live in these astral worlds are the closest vibration to us. They speak to us all the time through our lineage and just through being attached to this dimension. So we get that blending, you might say, of those consciousnesses. They talk to us in our head telepathically. They give us, some of them actually just come into us, especially those people who believe in reincarnation. And they want to pick up 100 people in past lives all throughout history, and they want to anchor all those consciousness into their body, and they wonder why they're so confused. So there is a strong desire for consciousness to blend, to create unity, to create community, to create fellowship. And so we are an open vessel. We send and we receive signals, and consciousness is everywhere around us. And the lowest frequencies are what we access the easiest, which is humans on this planet. We telepathically send messages and emotionally send messages to just here to the people on the planet. We have these dead people living in the astral worlds. Then we have a lot of disincarnate negative entities living in the astral worlds, and we have fourth density, which is filled with the fallen group that I spoke about back in the beginning of my video series when I talked about when I was witnessing a life as a being in Sirius in a big battle that took place, and this was at 6th density. And they were defeated, and they had corrupted our divine blueprint, and so they were demoted vibrationally or frequency down to 4th density, 2 densities down from 6th. And so that corrupt blueprint landed in 4th density, and those beings wanted to create in their own image, created beings in 3rd density. So we are very bonded to 4th density. And those beings are consciously working to influence us at all times. Their consciousness is merging with our consciousness all the time, influencing us, because they feel like they are our gods and they created us, but they are not. We have a divine blueprint. that goes way up into, as far as up as to the paradise suns, way past ninth density. And our divine blueprint is what decides what kind of body and frequency our consciousness lives in. And our consciousness was given to us by our soul, which is a container for consciousness. That's all the soul is. It's a container. And if it didn't have the blueprints, consciousness would never do anything but just sit there. And so the blueprint creates reality in many of the worlds of form and thought. And so what is happening on the positive side of that, now that I've talked about the astral world and the fourth density that we're bombarded with constantly, but we also have support in the higher densities, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all the way up to our mighty I Am angelic presence at 9th density. These are all part of our blueprint, because I've done videos on the blueprint, that the blueprint was manifested at the paradise level and descended from higher frequencies all the way down to our frequency. So our blueprint always has higher self, higher consciousness, guides, higher angelic beings, higher guides to constantly connect with us, because we connect to those higher beings through our divine blueprint. So they are always there. Yes, we have guardian angels. And so the key, though, is even though we have guardian angels, and I've talked about my childhood experiences with my guardian angel, and they are here to help us and guide us and protect us, and they do. But if we do not understand that we are responsible for our consciousness, and my guardian angel once told me when I got into a mess of trouble after I had gotten intuition not to do something, I allowed the world to influence me, and I did it anyway and got myself in a mess. And my guardian angel said to me, well, we protect you and we offer you suggestions and we tell you the things to do and not to do. But if you decide to walk in front of that bus going across the street, there's nothing we can do about that. We tell you, don't cross the street. There's a bus coming. Don't cross the street. And if you are influenced by someone on the other side of the street saying, come on over quick, you can run, you can make it, it's going to be okay, come on, and you go and you get hit, it is your responsibility what you do with your consciousness as well as your body. But it is your consciousness that is highly prized in the universe. The extraterrestrials that are here and the spirit beings that are working with us, they don't care about, when I say they don't care about the planet, literally they really don't care about the planet or bodies, because those are, like I said, abundant. What they care about is the connection they can make with our consciousness, because these higher beings and even beings in 5th density, they grow and feel a sense of communion and community with us when they blend with us. And I'm not talking possession. I'm not talking about they enter in and take over and direct us and control us. That is, of course, happening in the astral worlds and 4th density. But what I mean by a sense of community is that this is your divine blueprint. This is the appropriate connections are through the divine blueprint. They are a part of yourself anyway. They just vibrate at a higher frequency that you can't access most of the time because you're so seduced by the world and by distractions of this or that new age philosophy or this or that, science or whatever is the latest thing. And so you can't get to that voice often. And the way we reach those higher frequencies is through meditation, through calming our minds, through quieting the monkey mind, calming our emotions. The other thing is we always get lots of information in our dreams. Our higher angels and guides talk to us constantly in our dreams, giving us specific guidance. And if you don't have a well laid out dream pattern for yourself, you can still get information telepathically and through visions and through getting up in the morning after sleeping and writing 2 or 3 at least 3, writing 3 pages in a journal, because your intuition is still high. Even if you don't remember your dream, your intuition and your connection to those realms is still very strong, and you can get information. And we all get telepathic messages. Every single being gets telepathic messages. The lower of the 7 levels, and I have a video on that, the tribal mass individuals, they're probably getting most of their messages from their dead ancestors, because they're highly addicted and attached to history, and they're addicted to this planet and their bodies. So you can get telepathic messages, but where are they coming from? So I want to also mention that these beings that want to communicate and commune with us and have fellowship with us is very compatible with the true teachings of the Christ, because when Jesus left, he said, "I'm not leaving you alone. I am giving you a comforter, a spirit that will comfort you and guide you and keep you on the correct path and always advise you." In Christianity, it's called that the Holy Spirit. That is the same thing I'm talking about. It is part of your divine blueprint, and it is part of the higher frequencies. And so when the future is unfolding for us, I've mentioned about the great migration that is coming. Excuse me. And many different religions have talked about a harvest or some kind of ascension. My information that I get from my guidance is it's called a migration. And to understand this migration and be a part of it, which will be coming in the future, and there'll be some of us that may be the advanced team that goes before the biggest migration happens, you have to be connected to these higher beings, because these higher beings are the ones that are going to be taking our consciousness and with our own divine blueprint and transferring us to other worlds. And so if you're not connected to the higher beings, you won't hear the call. And I did a video several videos ago on the angel type beings, male beings that descended from the sky, and I reached my hand up and they took me, and I reached my hand out and grabbed someone else, and we ascended. This is because, and no one around us, it was in a park, remember that video? And everybody went about their day, and the world just kept going, and we left because we heard the call. We had the divine communion. We had the fellowship with the spirits of the paradise level, of the paradise sons. We are in fellowship with them, and we are part of their family, and we are the ones that go. And I've seen 3 of the worlds that are prepared already for us, for those that are going to do this. There are many paths, and I'm just speaking of this particular harvest, this particular gathering that's going to happen. It's going to be not a lot of people on the planet. So the one last thing I want to mention is this is why the sacred fire is so important, and the sacred fire sphere is so important, because yes, you have divine guidance, but you need to protect your consciousness. You need to bring the sacred fire through to cleanse and purify your energy system, to run it back through your lineage and cleanse and purify out your lineage, so that those voices from the dead of history aren't yapping at you. And you need to build that sphere of protection to protect you from the world that you move in, and also those 4th density beings. When you get enough protection around you, you quiet and still your mind, and you meditate, and you pay attention and journal your dreams, you will feel these connections, these higher spirit beings wanting to connect with you, to create a fellowship, a relationship. And that is what they get out of it, is a joy. Because they can create bodies by thought, and planets, some of them even create planets. The joy and growth they get is to commune and have fellowship with our consciousness in these densities, and to encourage us to rise up and lift up and to grow and expand to where they are. It's very rewarding for them to embrace a part of themselves, really, of their own blueprints, and to nurture and bring up to their level. It's a rewarding feeling for them. This is what they get out of it. Of course, we get out of it proper guidance, and we are learning how to expand our consciousness and how to grow beyond this planet and this reality. So I'm going to do another video specifically for my patron group. If you want to come and join, it will not be here on YouTube, and I'm going to give specific details on how you can know where you're going when you die, and also some tips for tapping into your, I'll just use the word guardian angel, it's easy to use, how to tap into your guardian angel and get this information from them. And that's in my Patreon group, and that starts this month. So this is a good time to sign up for my group, because it's the first of the month, August, and every month we still have a continuation of our teachings of the sacred fire and lucid dreaming, but each month is a different theme. And so that's the theme for this month. So I encourage you to come and join my private group, where there's a lot of information that's not here on YouTube. And so thank you, friends, and I hope to see you soon.